Yo, what is up?
What's going on?
Yo, I'm so happy you're here.
Me too. That means I made it home.
I mean, I'm glad you went on vacation, but I specifically meant I didn't really want to do a pick stream and talk about your picks for you. And so I'm glad you're home for that because like as much as I could just read everything you said to me out loud, it's a much better listening to you talk to me and tell me what you think and listening to me dispute everything you have to say.
I mean, fair. I
Disputing
expect that.
things with you is like a highlight of my day, dating back to teenager land.
What's up? Oh, I thought Ben was
We
in
got
here.
Shelby in the house. We got Tori in the house. Anybody else that's in here, you're more than welcome to say hello. But nice for you all to join us tonight. A super late night stream for us. We don't ever start a stream past like 9:00, so this is different. But
Right on.
we did not want to miss out on getting our picks in for the week because I am catching up to you, and this is
I know.
important to me. With
Thursday's
me,
screwing me over. Come on,
with me starting 1-0 right
Thursday was
now,
garbage.
that means I'm only like 2 games behind you. With me starting 1-0. What's up,
Thursday
Mary
was hot
Beth?
garbage.
It was hot garbage, but I called it. I got it
Yeah, but
right.
it shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened.
Listen. I don't know what was worse on Thursday, the internet in this house or that football game. But either way, we all got through it and we had a good time. I was in full panic mode. And going into this week, I'm going to be in full panic mode as well. But yeah, I got a 1-0 start with you this week.
Again.
And that just means I need to I got to switch up a couple picks with you. Just slowly just take my cut your lead down a little bit.
So what is the score between us now
Well,
currently?
before the Thursday night game, I was at 44-35 and you were at 47-32. But with that game, I'm at 45-35 and you're at 47-33. So I'm 2 games behind.
Okay, so I still got a little bit of cushion here.
You got a little bit of breathing room, but as soon as I tie it up, you're gonna be sweating.
I know, right? But so where do you want to start today?
Let's get right into it, man. I'm actually fired up because I got a lot of anxiety going in this week, so that means I've got a lot of energy towards every other game than mine. First game I've got on our slate, which was originally listed as a London game, even though they were never supposed to go to London for this game, or maybe they originally before the season were, but at one point it showed it being an 8:30 or 9:30, but now it's at 1:00, is the 49ers are going to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. And I find this to be really interesting, so I'm going to let you go first, get your thoughts out of the way so we can discuss it.
So I thought about this one pretty long and pretty hard. I for a while there, I almost felt as though that it's kind of that trap type scenario, but I don't think it is. I'm going to tell you why. I think San Francisco knows what they're getting going into Atlanta. I think they know they're going to come out and they're going to play hard-nosed football. But with that being said, I still think San Francisco is going to walk away with the win here fairly easy. Jimmy G's been playing really well. There's just Atlanta. Although they do get Pitts back this week, I really just don't think they're going to get over the hump without Cordell.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with. I think you're 100% correct, but I have to go back to last week, and yes, last week was a divisional game. But listen, we know what kind of offense Tampa Bay is capable of, when we know what kind of defense Tampa Bay is capable of. And despite the fact that it was a divisional game, Tampa Bay should have stomped them like 30-3 and did not. Okay, they lost by like 5 points. All which they came back in the fourth quarter. They had a slow start, but listen, everybody all their positional players was hurt last week, and they still managed to keep a game within a 1-score game. And so now San Francisco is coming to town. I want to say confidently, look, I don't have any confidence in either way I go with this, but I want to say confidently San Francisco should win this game. But also, what's up, Iron Antler and Silver Scorpion? But they're going to be missing. They took some big hits on their defense this past week. Nick Bosa's hurt. They lost some of their secondary, some of them for the rest of the year. And so, look, as much as this San Francisco offense is capable, which I firmly believe is capable of scoring 40 points in a game, I think this game is going to be so much more close than anybody will give it credit for. Every game Atlanta's played this year has been a close game. They've played, divisional opponents in the Saints with a tough defense, the Buccaneers with a tough defense. They've played the Rams. They went toe-to-toe with the Rams. They almost came back and beat them. And the Rams put up a lot of points in that game. They've played hard-nosed games all week. I'm gonna if this was in San Francisco, I don't even think I would debate it. But the fact that this game is in Atlanta, it just makes me feel rocky because, look, last week, the game they played against Tampa Bay was for the lead in the division. That's how, look, I'm not going to say good, but that's how close they are this year. And we have to give that some credit. Marcus Mariota is not playing great, but they had no Cordell Patterson, no Kyle Pitts. I think Drake London's playing, but a little bit banged up. They have all these backup running backs, and they had backup positional players, and they were still getting it done. That being said, I think I have to take the 49ers here, but I really I just want people when they're making their picks and when they're thinking about this to really think hard about it because I'm not confident at all.
Look, all I can say for sure is that San Francisco has the number one defense in the NFL now. And Marcus Mariota has not performed up to par. And I think that's really going to come through and show this weekend in particular. Howbeit it'll be a home game. It should be fairly close. But, if I was to be betting, I would take San Francisco and that 4.5 points that they're giving.
Yeah, I would take San Francisco by 3. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Because then the Falcons defense, look, they've gotten better. They're not good, but they're not bad. They're not the worst, okay? I'll give them that. And so they're bad against the pass, but they're fairly average against the run. And so that is where they need to keep everything tight because that's what Kyle Shanahan and this Niners offense is going to do. They're going to try to run the ball down their throat. We might see 40 plus rushes in this game from the Niners offense.
This will be I will make you a bet. This will be the fastest game this weekend because both teams are going to run the ball. The clock's not going to stop for anything. It will be fairly low scoring. I will bite on that point. But yeah, I just don't think this is going to be as good a game as you might think it will be.
I'm not going to say good game, but I think it will be close game. I'm going to take the Niners with you. It just feels like I'm taking a safe bet that I don't agree on. I'm going against my morals, but I hope, as much as I want San Francisco to win, to continue their, taking control of that division, which they already pretty much have, in my opinion, I want to see the Falcons win this. So I will be okay with taking the L if Atlanta can win this game and prove.
Me too. I would love to see Atlanta win as well. But you know what? I
think Atlanta deserves a win after what happened to them last week.
I'm absolutely positive that there's going to be about at least 2 or 3 games this week that you and I probably do not agree on whatsoever.
But moving on to the next game, another, in my opinion, fairly evenly matched game. Well, I'm not going to say another. I don't even think that the first game's evenly matched. I just think it's going to be closer than predicted. But this one, in my opinion, is a truly evenly matched game. The New England Patriots head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.
2 teams that want to do the exact same thing as the San Francisco and Atlanta want to do. They both want to run the ball. Nick Chubb's a stud. Stevenson is also a stud. I thought about this one long and hard as well, and I teetered on Cleveland for a long time. But you know what? I'm going to go back just because I think that I think there's value in it. I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to stick with the Patriots again this week. I think their defense is going to be very upsetting to Jacoby Brissett. I think Matthew Judon is a game changer, and I feel as though they can eliminate Mr. Nicholas Chubb from having a huge game.
I'm just going to tell you right now, There is nobody on this planet that can eliminate Nicholas Chubb on a football field. He is 100% that guy. Look, you can talk about King Henry. You can talk about Jonathan Taylor last season. You can talk about any running back you want, but Nick Chubb is that guy. Now, I'm comparing these stats on these two teams because I did have a tough time with this. And I 100% respect everything you have to say if you're going forward with the Patriots. Like, I'm not going to discredit Bill Belichick because I saw what he did to the Lions last week. He did not allow them to score a single point. That's impressive because they were the number one scoring team in the league. But if you look at their stats, passing yards, the Patriots have averaged 10 more a game. If you go rushing yards, the Browns are number one in rushing yards at almost 200 yards a game, and the Patriots are at 138 a game. And points, the Browns average 26.6, and the Patriots average 20.6. That's a whole touchdown more a game, and they've got 70 plus more rushing yards per game. And the Patriots got 10 more passing yards per game than them. Look, I'm 90% sure it's going to be Bailey Zappi again at the helm in this game. And this is going to sound crazy, but I think Mac Jones might end up losing his job because Bill Belichick will not rule that option out right now. And that just seems like a very Bill Belichick thing that's going to happen. He's probably not going to play this game, and they're beating around the bush about everything about Mac Jones. So I think Bailey Zappi might be QB1 going forward. I think he's better personally somehow because he can throw the ball downfield. I think that's the only reason. That's what he got that's different. But, and then you compare their defenses. The Browns defense only lets up 20 or 15 more yards per game than the Patriots. I do not think that the Patriots can move the ball more. Jacoby Brissett's only fault is like every now and then he has like one turnover. But he has been beyond admirable this season. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, I do not think at home they are going to lose another close game like that. Do I think it'll be close? Yes. But when it comes up, comparing the Patriots and the Chargers, I still think the Chargers are a better football team right now. And the Chargers won barely with
shouldn't have won.
Yeah, they should not have won. There was one single mistake by Jacoby Brissett in that whole game, and it ended up giving the Chargers the advantage. So that is why I'm going to run with Cleveland this week. I feel weird how many times I've picked Cleveland this year, but look, I'm not betting against Nick Chubb for nobody. They're averaging almost 200 rushing yards a game, and they've played some tough opponents against the run defenses, and he's obliterating guys. Nick Chubb's that guy, and Kareem Hunt is beyond admirable for that guy's backup.
And that's a pretty fair assumption. Plus the home team, I knew that would be one that we differed on for sure. But I'm telling you that
I trust Bill Belichick to go win with anybody. He could put me in as quarterback, and their offensive linemen are 2 feet taller than me, and I still would have managed to get a dub with Bill Belichick.
Well, the main reason I came to my decision this time was I'm like, if I trust Belichick to take away one item from the Cleveland offense, it would have to be Nick Chubb because that's got to be his number one priority. And if he can take away Nick Chubb, what's left on that Cleveland offense? And I don't see a whole lot.
But Amari Cooper's been playing outstanding, and Njoku has stepped up since he got his payday. He has stepped up big. He's been a monster. Nobody can guard him. And I didn't think Amari Cooper would pan out, but he's actually playing really well. And Kareem Hunt, deadly in the passing game. Look, that's three guys that are ball catchers that can burn you. And look, take away Nick Chubb. Go ahead and try. He's going to hurt somebody if you do. But Kareem Hunt's more than capable in both the run and the pass. And Brissett, like I said, more than admirable. He's got only 5 passing touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but thrown over 1,000 yards this year with only 3 interceptions, 1,000 yards. That's good for a guy that's supposedly bad. Stefanski's doing something right there, and their defense playing really well. And I just think I respect you disagreeing with me because, this could be an easy coin flip game.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is one of the more evenly matched games of the whole week, other than maybe Washington and Chicago. But you know what about that Washington-Chicago game? I have been all about the statistics, right? Did you know this specific statistic, and this is including with the win this week on Thursday? Carson Wentz is 7-0 on Thursday Night Football.
I did not catch that one.
I did not know that until after the game. But with that win, he is 7-0 on Thursday Night Football.
So just a quick thing, since it's late and nobody really cares. Taylor Heineke is going to get the start next week. How do you feel about that?
For real?
Yeah. Carson Wentz has a fractured hand.
Dude, Heineke's going to light him up, bro. You know what? I hate Carson Wentz, but now I can join the Washington train 100% again because I love that guy. Did you see what he did to Tom Brady in Tampa Bay in the playoffs, his first career start?
Hey, I just thought I would bring that up because I knew that once
I'm fired up for week 7 now. I don't even know who
I figured that would be something to wind you up a little bit because, I know how big of a Heineke fan you are.
Nah, dude, I'm already wound up thinking about this next game. All right. The Jets, with a 3-2 record, are going to be taking on the Packers at Lambeau. And the only thing that I have to say about this before you go is the Packers are wearing their throwback unis that look clean as hell.
There's not much to say here. I don't think comparatively, I know that you're really big on this Jets team, and
they put up 40 points on the Dolphins. 41 actually. That's not easy to do.
And after an Aaron Rodgers loss, Green Bay is 9-0 and games following a loss. So I'm going to take the Packers. I don't even think it's going to be that good of a game.
You don't think it's going to be that good of a game? Okay.
I don't.
All right. Let's look at stats. I'm not going to just jump. Look, Zach Wilson's the GOAT. Don't get me wrong, but Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league. All right? So there's my argument right there. We got the GOAT and the best quarterback in the league. Look, I'm going to be fair either way. Whoever I end up picking, I'm going to be completely fair with. But let's look. The Jets are averaging 276 passing yards per game, and they're ranked 6th. And the Packers are averaging 244 a game, ranked 20th. The Jets are ranked 24th with 97 rush yards a game, and the Packers are ranked 11th with the 134. There's where the Pack leads, okay? And in points, the Jets average 23.2 and the Packers average 19.4. And comparing offense and defense, the Jets overall offense produces 356 and the Packers defense allows 303. So the Jets have a advantage right there. And so the Packers offense averages 362, where the Jets defense averaged 320. So they both have fair advantages in going against these defenses. I think that the way Green Bay's playing, whether it be Rodgers to prove a point, which I still think that's what it is. Look, I'm convinced because Aaron Rodgers don't win back-to-back MVPs and stunt on everybody in the league all over the place to just roll over and die. No, I don't believe that. I'm not going to buy it for 1 minute. I think he's proven in a point to Matt LaFleur that he can't do it himself, that Rodgers is still that guy. So with that being said, I think the passing game is going to be back to where it needs to be for Green Bay this week. And I think this game is going to be a shootout. And to be completely fair, this is the game that I chose to use my coin flip on, so I did not have to choose.
Oh, you just copped out on me. You copped out.
Look, I think either team can reasonably win this game. If you can put up 40 points on anybody, you're a good offense. And the Dolphins' defense is beyond admirable with their injuries included. Okay. They still held Cincinnati to 24 points in that Thursday night game with Xavier Howard and all them out? Look, that is admirable.
Well, I mean, yeah, Xavier Howard didn't go out until the end of the second quarter, but still.
But they still held him for a while. So, heads, obviously home team. And look, we get these coin flips for a reason.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
want to
fair.
pick the Jets, but my brain is telling me to pick the Packers. So I'm not going to pick. And heads, Packers. Tails is the Jets. Here we go. And it's going to be heads. I'm rolling with the pack. Look, see? I'm not going
And
to
just
tell
so
you.
and just to be clear, Bengals scored 20 of their points with Xavier Howard on the field.
Exactly. That just means like I don't care what that means actually because like plus
That's okay. We're on the same pick now, so I don't feel like it's any fun anymore.
you're just
Yeah,
gonna be real
after
mad
a
if the
loss,
Jets win.
Aaron Rodgers is 9-0. Green Bay is going to get it together. The
I
Jets are
think so
so
too.
young.
I think the Jets are still gonna score points though.
Oh yeah, I think they'll score points. I just don't think they're going to win. I think going into Green Bay is going to be a tall
That's the
task to
only
win.
reason. If this was in New Jersey, I probably wouldn't use a coin flip, and I would just give the edge to the Jets. But since this is a Lambeau, he's not going to get humiliated there again. They're going to get it done. Look, I'm more than willing to support. Yeah, I just made a coin tell me who to support, so I will make that case for the Packers now.
Good enough, man. There's some ugly games
On
coming
to
up.
the next game. I had my mind made up before I looked at anything. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to visit the Indianapolis Colts after shutting them out in week 2, 24-0. Go ahead. I got my mind made up. I'm just going to tell you why.
Let's see. The Colts do not have a running back. Matt Ryan. This is Matt Ryan's put up or shut up week. If he can't put a win up this week and get them to the top of that division without having a strong running game, then he's going to get booed out of town. I still think they got a great roster. I still think their roster is still better than Jacksonville. And reluctantly, I'm just going to take the Colts because I feel like they needed a little bit more.
I think the Colts need it desperately. They're not even but a half a game behind in the standings. That's it. That is it. And I still think they desperately need this win. But with that said, congrats, Pookie. But I think because there's going to be no Jonathan Taylor, no Nyheim Hines. Now, I think the next two guys up with Phillip Lindsay and that rookie they have, those guys that were a stud last week.
Yeah.
For how bad that game was, they were a stud playing against an excellent defense.
Hi, Holly.
What's up, Holly? Nice to see you. But Jacksonville is only allowing 16 points a game. And the Colts they're averaging 13 points a game. Listen, Jacksonville's putting up 22, averaging 22 a game. All they need is 20 points to win this game, and the Colts can't score 20 points. So what's up, Shy? I'm taking Jacksonville for the sweep this year. Look, both of these teams have a hard time winning on the road against each other. The Colts prove they can't break that already this season, week 2. But I'm going to say the Jags prove that they can this week.
Cool. I think it's good that we can differ on this one a little bit because this one here could have been my coin toss as well.
Listen, the Colts have proved nothing to me. They have shown no growth. They have not shown the ability to put up points. The only game they looked what kind of good was against Kansas City, and they still didn't look all that great. Like I said, Kansas City shot themselves in the foot about 15 times in that game, and that's the only reason the Colts looked somewhat good. Jacksonville are coming off 2 bad games in a row, and Doug Peterson's going to set that right. Look, we're going down to coaching now. This is where this all comes down to. Coaching, Doug Peterson, Frank Reich. Give me Doug Peterson all day. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's head coached a team to a Super Bowl. Frank Reich hasn't done that. The Colts are just bad, and they need to prove it.
They are.
If if Matt Ryan gets benched about halftime and Nick Foles comes in, I would change my opinion. Like, Nick Foles will sling the ball. He won't turn it over. He won't fumble it 11 times in 4 weeks or whatever. Yeah. Listen, Nick Foles is their answer right now. So I'm riding with the Jags until the Colts prove to me that they can actually look like an NFL team.
And so you should, because I probably should have picked the Jags as well. But like I said, to be difficult, I'm putting this game. I feel like this game is Matt Ryan's last opportunity before I think Nick Foles gets put into the mix.
Look, I just think the Colts are in trouble because
They are.
not only do the Jags have ETN or have James Robinson, who in my opinion is a top 15 running back, which is high because there are a lot of running backs in the league. But Travis Etienne had his breakout finally. He's getting started. Now all they got to do is be able to run the ball, run the clock, because they can throw it in the air. Trevor Lawrence has been slinging footballs all season long, and he doesn't care who he throws it to. That's what I love about this guy's development. It's like, okay, you paid Christian Kirk $600 billion for no reason. Okay, well, you can throw it to him, and he can earn his money. Or you can throw it to whatever that guy's name is, Agnew. I don't even know him very well. And the other, 2 weeks ago, he put up, over 100 yards receiving. A no-name. He will sling the ball to anybody who's open and will catch it. Plus, Etienne's breaking out. Robinson's still a solid back. These guys are in trouble. The Colts are in trouble. And I'm telling you right now, if the Colts lose this game, their season's done. Look, I know they're not that far out of it, but if they lose this game, their season is probably done. Or they get Nick Foles and they turn it around. Okay? Nick Foles is the GOAT. He beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, let's keep on going because we got a lot to do.
All right, next game we got, which I have been thinking about this game all week long. Minnesota Vikings are going into Miami to take on the Dolphins, and as of today, Teddy Bridgewater cleared concussion protocol, so he is playing now.
But he is not starting.
Well, he's available, is what I read.
Yeah, they put him in as backup. Tua cleared protocol as well, and he's not.
But Tua's not playing. Tua's available to play as of next week.
Yeah, I know he cleared protocols today.
So, what?
They're holding him out. Teddy Bridgewater's playing backup, and that kid's starting again for the Dolphins.
Skylar Thompson, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, you know what? This game here this might be the toughest game of the week, honestly.
It is very interesting. That's what I've been contemplating all week. Before they said Teddy Bridgewater was able to participate in playing, I was very much so leaning towards the Vikings. I was. The Vikings are 4-1. You can't count them out right now because they're playing good football. They're playing close game football, but they're playing good football. It's tough. Look, another week with Skylar Thompson taking first team snaps in practice. Look, we don't know this guy. He didn't do too bad against the Jets, despite not being able. They put up 24 points in that game. Okay,
17.
Or 17, 24. That's still a lot of points for a guy who wasn't meant to do anything. How has Tyreek done with backup QBs? Haven't really followed the Dolphins this season. I mean, he did great with Tua. He did great with Teddy, filling in for Tua against the Bengals. And the last minute, Tua got hurt. Teddy was the next man up. He caught a deep, 60-yard ball. Teddy can sling it. I still don't know all that much about this guy.
Miami's play calling in this game is going to err on the side of conservative, right? Honestly. Fair enough to say. So you're going to see Miami really try to push the run game in this quite a bit. Minnesota, against. Minnesota's run defense is average. Their defense all around is average. I really feel like this is going to be the toss-up game, and as much as I want to take Minnesota on the road,
coin flip.
Burning the coin flip because I don't want to pick it because I want to pick the Vikings, but I just feel like this young kid is going to play well. Heads will be the Vikes. Tails.
No, heads have to be Miami because it's at home.
Oh, heads Miami, tails Dolphins, or tails Vikings. It is a tail. I get the Vikings.
Man, so I'm looking at these stats comparing. They're ranked equal in points. The rushing, the Vikings got them by 20 more yards a game, and passing, the Dolphins have got them by 6 more points a game. Defensively, they're rated about the same, 100% all around. And that's because there's been 2 weeks with guys out for Miami, so that makes that average pretty fair for rating their defense. This game's gonna be a close one. I think that Mike, what's his name, Mike McDaniel, the head coach for Miami. I don't know why, I don't know how, but this team has shown a lot of passion and heart. Their head coach has got them in the locker room, right? They've got Waddle, they've got Tyreek. I think all this kid's got to do is be able to get it to them. They are playmakers, like as long as he can get the ball to them and their offensive line can hold up long enough for them to throw it. If they can put up 80 yards rushing, which is what they average in a game, I think they're going to keep this one close. It is a home game. Minnesota's going to Miami to play in the heat as opposed to playing at home in where it's getting colder. I'm going to take Miami in this game. I don't feel good about it. The coin flip's totally fair, but I did not want to pick that Jets-Packers game. I knew going into it I was going to do it because I didn't want to pick. But I am going to take the Dolphins on this game because we know that if Skylar gets off to a rough start, we'll see Teddy. If they get behind early, we'll see Teddy. Also, I want to say thank you to Holly, the $10 super chat. And to answer your question, I did not get to watch the Jets-Dolphins game, but I did get to watch him with Teddy Bridgewater against the Bengals. And he seems to be, as long as the ball is to him, he can catch it and move with it.
But to be fair, Teddy Bridgewater has a stronger, more accurate arm than Tua does, so it's probably an upgrade. But I think the only problem with Tyreek in this game is going to be he can't get out of his own way. His own arrogance, I think, will get in the way with this young quarterback. I don't think he's going to want to go out there and play a leadership role in that offense.
I think this game is really going to show how much of a team player Tyreek Hill actually can be. Is he going to be, like you said, arrogant and, all in his head and just, blame it on the QB essentially after the game's over if they lose? Or is he going to step up and help this young guy out? He helped Tua out a lot. He throws those deep balls and he has to come back 10 yards to catch them. He helped Tua out tremendously. Now let's see if he can repeat with a rookie QB.
Yeah, the Tua thing is arrogance, right? Because,
it is 100% arrogance. He said that Tua is the most accurate QB in the NFL, and I know he was just spouting to sound big. When you're talking, Patrick Mahomes hit him on the money every single time. It was just his fault for dropping it. Listen, it don't get more accurate than that, especially under the conditions that Patrick Mahomes throws under. I can't believe he even said that.
Okay.
What's up, Tim? But it will be an interesting game that I probably won't be watching, but I will be keeping my eye on because I'm assuming I'm going to get the Bengals game this week, but I don't know yet. Which leads me to the next game, and I'm glad Tim's here for this because him and I discussed it a little bit already. The Bengals are going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. That's where Joe Burrow is familiar with playing, and Andy Dalton will be at the helm. And before you get in there and talk about this, I just want you to know this one stat. Andy Dalton is 2-0 versus the Bengals.
I knew you were going there. I absolutely knew you were going there. And you know what? I am afraid of this game as a Bengals fan for sure because, and this is the reason why, there's no reason why they should go in here and lose this game. Their defense, the secondary is playing outstanding. Chris Olave is really the only solid weapon in the receiving core. Troutman's a decent tight end, but he's really not – that New Orleans has. Kamara has the ability to have a pretty big game in the receiving game. I don't think.
When is DJ Reader coming back? Is he back?
He's already back.
Okay, I was not 100% on that game.
It feels like a trap game in a sense. Man, you know what? I can't pick against my Bengals, although I think New Orleans. I know that Lattimore's not playing tomorrow, and that's going to be a big problem with Jamar Chase in the game. However, Dennis Allen defense doesn't give up a lot of big plays. They keep teams in check. So I think Joe Burrow's going to have to play within himself, check down a little bit more often. But I still think Cincinnati has the uptick in this game. But I would not be surprised if the Saints win.
I want to pick both of these teams because I love both of these teams.
I can make arguments to pick both for sure.
Okay, so this is the problem I have with Cincinnati. And this is probably the only problem that I have with them outside of the offensive line, which I'm not even going to talk bad about. They've been playing so much better from the first 2 weeks, so I'm not going to even go there. My only problem with Cincinnati right now is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I feel a Matthew Stafford tunnel vision on Cooper Kupp, Derek Carr tunnel vision on Devontae Adams. Joe Burrow has gotten some tunnel vision because he wants Jamar. Look, I get it. He's your number one guy. Don't use guys that aren't making plays for you to be your distraction so you can throw it to Chase. Like, they know you're going to throw it there. So this is a mature game, like a game where Joe Burrow has to take a step forward in growing as a quarterback because both of these teams are capable of winning this game. This is a fairly matched team defensively for sure. And offensively, with Andy Dalton at the helm, he's playing well. As much as the Cincinnati's got the better positional player as a whole, Andy Dalton does not care who he's throwing to at all. It does not matter how good the guy is. If he's open, he's going to throw it his way.
Olave and Troutman are going to get a lot of balls.
Agreed, 100%. But the only way Burrow can get over that hump and come and win this game is if he can realize that just being a number one receiver, getting him the ball is very, very important, but using him as the distraction as opposed to everybody else is just Tyler Boyd could burn this team for almost 200 yards in this game tomorrow if they use Jamar Chase as a distraction because that's what Tyler Boyd does. But what with this, and Tim was going exactly where I was going. I don't know how Cincinnati's going to handle the continuous swap between quarterbacks. They're not used to playing against two types of quarterbacks in one game. Look, they can contain Lamar. They can contain the mobile guy, and they can contain the guy who can just throw. But are they going to be able to switch back and forth constantly as fast as the Saints do? Because Taysom Hill burnt them last week with 3 touchdowns, two rushing and 1 in the air. Andy Dalton really didn't do all that much. He was just there. I think this is an interesting matchup, and I think this is surprisingly to say one of the hardest matchups Cincinnati's faced this year.
Oh, I like I said, I can make reasons to pick both teams. I think stopping Taysom Hill is probably the main key that they have. I think they can contain Kamara. If they can contain Kamara, stop Hill, and then it just be Dalton versus Burrow, I think we have a good opportunity to win that. And like I said, I'm picking my team. I don't care.
Look, I want to pick Cincinnati, but when I pick Cincinnati, I lose. And when I pick against Cincinnati, a lot of times Cincinnati surprises me and wins. But, they're in New Orleans. Look, Burrow's very familiar with that field. He's played there a lot. What's up, Peyton? But I am going to roll with the home team. If, like I said about one of the last games, if this game had been in Cincinnati, I'm going to give the edge to Cincinnati. But that's how close this game is to me, that I'm going based off home team advantage. And there is a true advantage in that dome, okay? It gets loud and they're crazy there. And I am actually nervous. I think this is a good test for this O-line as well. They've got a very good passing defense, and so these guys are playing better. But this is going to be a whole different kind of style football team they're playing against. And so I'm going to roll with the Saints in this game.
A lot,
One to differ with you because I knew you were going to take Cincinnati. But
I don't have
2, because games that are this close, I feel like I should just take the other team than you anyway. But like I said, out of everything I've said about this game, the only reason I'm making this choice is because they are the home team. If it had been in Cincinnati, I was taking Cincinnati. But no matter where this game's being played, both teams have a very fair chance of winning this game.
Let's go.
Also, what's up, Nathan? You're not late. We're late. I pushed this stream back because one, I did have to go to a wedding today, and it was like pretty far away for us. And two, I found out that he was coming home tonight, so I was willing to wait a little bit to get him in here. So I had him making his picks on the screen. The next game just makes me mad, man. Tampa Bay is going to Pittsburgh to take on Kenny Two Gloves and the broken down Pittsburgh Steelers.
I take Brady and the Bucs on the road. I don't care.
Listen, I'm gonna say the Brady and the Bucs on the road, 27-21.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be dominant. I just think they're gonna win.
Yeah, I knew we were not gonna have anything really to talk about this game, other than the fact I think that it's still gonna be a semi-close game. Not close enough that you think Pittsburgh might come away with the win. This could be a trap game. We could be completely wrong. Look, maybe Pittsburgh's not going to get completely blown out 2 weeks in a row because they got their ass whooped last week. And Kenny Pickett still played great. He was the highlight of that game. So, we don't know. Anything can happen. This could be a trap game. I hope it is. I never say I hope Pittsburgh wins, but I hope Pittsburgh wins because Tampa Bay deserves a loss that they should win. Handed to them. But I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the road. I got notes on every game. Did I skip over Ravens and Giants?
You did.
Maybe I didn't write them down.
And are you here tomorrow or are you working?
I am here all day long, which means I will be here for the 1:00 game. And we're going to go.
Jets and Packers and Ravens. And we don't even have the Bengals game on here.
God dang it. I was hoping that was the game I was going to get. But since I didn't even write them down, I do not know how I missed that game. It is the next game on our list. It was supposed to go right before the Bucs game. But thank you, Holly, for making a statement because I would have just forgot. But the Ravens are going into New Jersey to take on the Giants. And I've got a couple things to say about this game. The most interesting stat about this is Lamar Jackson is undefeated against NFC teams in his whole career. He's never lost to an NFC team. But the Giants look really good, man. I don't know what to say. And I can't believe I missed this one because I'm actually really excited about this. The Ravens and Jets have met one time once in the postseason. Ravens and Giants. Which is it? Because how could the Ravens and Giants meet in the postseason unless it was a Super Bowl?
Was it a Super Bowl? Flacco won?
Rashad Bateman is out in that game, yes. Rushing stats, fairly comparable. The offense, in terms of passing yards, the Giants are dead last, and that's because they wasted like $70 million on Kenny Golladay, and he won't catch nothing. And the Ravens are 23rd in passing yards. And then rushing, this is where it's interesting. The Giants are rated second behind Cleveland, and the Ravens are rated 7th with like 30 yards less. And points, the Ravens average 27 and the Giants average 20. Look, I want to say the Giants are going to pull off this upset. They are at home. They're 4-1. The odds are Baltimore 5.5. It was 3.5, but it's moved to 5.5. But it's real tough. Like, I kind of want to see the Giants win this game because, like, they were my pick for worst team in the league. I hope they just continue to win, right? But I just don't know if I can pick against Lamar Jackson being undefeated. I think it was like 11-0 against NFC teams or something crazy like that. I know either way it's undefeated. That's crazy, right? Like, that's a crazy stat to never have lost to an NFC team. He's played in the league for 4 years now? What do you think about this game?
I think this is the game that comes down to turnovers. I think whoever plays better and doesn't turn the ball over has the best opportunity to win the game. So with that being said, I'm really looking for the run defense to step up for both teams because that's going to be where most of the offense comes from in these games. Because passing yards per game, the Giants are, what are they, 31st in the league. They only throw for 171, and the Ravens only throw for 213. The Ravens do lead the lead in interceptions with 8. I think that's an interesting stat. 8 interceptions to the Giants. Don't have a single
I believe
one.
they said they are going to be missing Humphreys, maybe.
Probably.
One of their guys is out.
Uh,
I don't remember which one it is. It's not Patrick Queen. I think it's Marlon Humphreys is going to be out in this game.
I see Justin Houston that's out for groin, Rashad Bateman out for foot, and Justice Hill is doubtful for hamstring. I do not see anybody else right now. Let's see. Marcus Williams is on IR.
It might have been Marcus Williams that I was thinking.
Kyle Fuller is on IR. And I don't see any other corners.
Bowser expected return is week 6. Gus Edwards expected return week 6. I think it might have been Marcus Williams that I was thinking of. I thought it was Marlon Humphreys, but I think it's Marcus Williams.
Yeah, because he got hurt last week.
So it's got to be him. But have a nice night, Mary Beth. Thanks for coming in here with us. But the stats that I wanted to talk about that's really interesting is I said that the Ravens average 27 points a game, where the Giants only average 20. But if you go to their defense, the Giants only have allowed 18.6 per game, and the Ravens average 23.4 points they allow per game. That's like completely backwards, which really matches the fact that the Ravens score more and allow more, but the Giants score less and allow a lot less than what the Ravens average per game. So this is getting really interesting. I keep saying, well, the Giants are banged up on defense, but they've still proved me wrong, even despite that every single week. They keep getting more hurt on defense, and they're still playing just as good, if not better, every single week, which just shows how good Daboll is for them. But
here's the other thing.
I was going to say my other defensive stats were that the Jets are 25th worst in rush defense, and that is where the Ravens excel.
Giants.
No, the Ravens.
You said Jets.
Oh, sorry, Giants. Giants have a bad run defense.
You know what? I'm gonna give you. I don't think we've picked yet, have we? We haven't. I'm gonna give you one more quick little tidbit that I just thought about that just hit me on the top of my head. The defensive coordinator is Wink Martindale for the Giants.
See, look, everyone's like, okay, well, Lamar's going to know how to play against him. And I was like, okay, well, Wink Martindale's going to know how to coach against him.
I mean, if anybody knows how to defend against Lamar, it should be Wink.
That's what I'm saying. Look, this game is tough. Can I pick a tie? But let me see. Okay, look, this is how I'm going to make my decision. I'm going to see who I put in for CBS on my first gut decision. And I think that's what I'm going to go with because I cannot pick this game.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm going to do it too.
Where is it at?
I'm almost there. Hold on.
I picked the Ravens to win this game.
Ooh. I think I did too. But I want to see.
I think the Ravens should win this game, but the Giants have just done nothing but prove everybody wrong. This might be the best game of the week.
Yeah, you're right. This could be the best game of the week. Okay, let's see what I got here.
It's at the top.
I picked the Ravens, so I'm going to stick with that.
That's okay. That's what I'm going to say about it. I picked the Ravens. That's who I'm going with because, listen, I'm having a hard time this week. Will all three New York teams lose this week? I don't know. I'm unsure.
Oh my gosh, that's nuts because we haven't even got to the Buffalo Kansas City game.
Okay, next game on the list because we're done with the Bucs and Steelers. And listen, it's gonna be a close game for no reason, and the Bucs are gonna win. Like that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, next game, which I know who I need to pick, and I know where my brain is going. We've got the Panthers facing the Rams.
Yes.
In LA, so it doesn't matter about home team. LA has a 98% chance, like in terms of CBS's rankings, to win this game. I don't like that. Like that just screams trap game to me. And it's a 10-point spread. Look, that's where things get weird to me. You can say 9.5-point spread, and I'll be like, okay, well, that team's going to win. But as soon as you cross that double-digit margin, it becomes a true trap game. Listen, it was double digits against the Falcons, and they almost lost that game.
You know what? I'm just, what was amazing today was that the Carolina Panthers effectively started. They put it out there today. Christian McCaffrey is on the trading block. They're looking to move
which
him.
we knew was coming. They're going into a rebuild.
They're sold on going into the rebuild. So I don't know what you're going to see out of this. I think this is a team that's just set up to lose.
And I think they've got nothing to lose.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams. I think Carolina's just not.
No, I'm not dumb. I'm going to take the Rams too. But I'm just saying this is something you got to think about. They're a team that's got nothing to lose. The Rams have no film on how this guy's going to coach them.
You know what? Watch this. Here you go. Here's a better bet. Before the trade deadline, Christian McCaffrey is a Ram.
I mean, they could use him. If he stays healthy, they could use him. But
Cam Akers is on his way out, dude. I mean,
yeah, Cam Akers is expected to request a trade.
Yeah, I think he's on his way out the door, and I think this might be a flip flop. And I think they may flop players. They may do it before this freaking game. You may see that tomorrow morning that it's happened.
But here's the funny thing, and you're gonna laugh about this. The Panthers average more points a game than the Rams do.
Yeah.
Listen, look, I don't care if they got Aaron Donald. I do not care about that. They don't have Von Miller, so they are not the team they were last year. And they're averaging more rushing yards per game. And what have we been screaming this year? If you can run the ball better, you're going to win. Look, Cooper Kupp has been phenomenal. They're going to kill them in the pass game. And this defense not playing all too great for the Panthers, but they're allowing just as many passing yards as the Rams defense is. They're allowing a very close number and the same amount of rushing yards as the Rams defense is. And they're averaging only one more point allowed than the Rams are. If you look at just statistics, you would have no idea how bad this Panthers team was because you think the Rams are good. Like, not you, but like everyone assumes the Rams are good.
The Rams have potential. They've just not lived up. They're having that. They're doing the same thing as Cincinnati's doing. They're just not playing up to their potential. They felt like they had arrived and got their Super Bowl, and they're having letdowns this year. But it's time. If they don't start doing something now, you know what? They may trade everybody on this team before the deadline. I mean, I feel like both these teams. Another Rams loss and McVay might start rebuilding.
Super Bowl hangover. Exactly. That's what it is. Listen. Look, I'm going to take the Rams because I'm not dumb. Okay. I'm going to take them because I'm not stupid. I went over to She Got Sports and I left her a long comment because she asks, everybody what they thought about this game. And I said, this game should be a blowout, but I don't think it will be for no reason other than the fact that the Panthers aren't against the wall. Their backs aren't against the wall. They don't care. They are free. They are the happiest they've been all season long. They're just going to go play football and whatever happens, happens. Like that, that's it. But their stats are so comparable to the Rams that it's not funny.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? Von Miller is the biggest part of the Rams' defensive problem this year, not being there. Their offensive problem is Andrew Whitworth not being there. I think that's the two
I
guys that
think
they
this
really
game
are
is
missing.
going to be so stupid. Rams fans are going to be so mad whether they win or lose. They're going to be mad watching this game. And like that's why I'm saying don't sleep on the Panthers in this specific matchup because they have nothing to lose. And teams that have nothing to lose, look what Jacksonville did to the Colts last year.
Yeah,
All the
that should
Colts
have
had
been.
to do was win and they were in. They had nothing to lose last year. Every time the team gets to that point, they win games that they should not.
Come on, we got one more. We got one more ugly, stupid game, and then we can talk about some good football games.
I don't even think this is gonna be an ugly, stupid game. The Cardinals are going into Seattle to play Geno Smith for MVP. The Seattle Seahawks. Ooh, they might not have a defense, but their offense is playing better than the Cardinals' offense. Look, that's it. I mean, the odds are Arizona 2.5. A Panthers win would be hilarious, and I would be so happy. Because listen, I've been thinking about this, and it's so stupid how comparable the defending Super Bowl champs is with the worst team in the football league right now.
How hilarious would it be that that Baker Mayfield can't lead them to hardly anything, and then PJ Walker comes in and leads them to a win?
PJ
That would be
Walker's just
hilarious
like
too.
Taylor Heineke, man. They came from the same place. Look, they are just trying to find their job. They're going to go out and perform at a high level, as high as their team will allow them to perform, right? That terms of offensive line, run game, and their guys catching passes. They're going to perform at the highest level they can, whether that be good, bad, or ugly. Okay, But
Does
listen,
Geno go off in this game though, man? I mean, does he put up numbers in this game?
He does put up numbers in this game. They're averaging more passing yards a game than the Cardinals. They're averaging more rushing yards a game than the Cardinals, and they're averaging more points a game than the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win at home. Look, Arizona is a great road team. They are a trash home team. But I don't think this changed. Look, Geno's just getting more and more time with these guys in Seattle, knowing he's QB1. And they go out every week looking better than they did the week before. Seattle leads historically 23-21. See, I got Nathan in on checking the history of these teams now because it's important. It is. Some people don't think so, but I do. And I made up my mind before going into this. Now I'm looking at the stats and it makes it so much easier. These defenses are fairly the same, other than the Seattle rush defense is literally garbage. It is hot garbage, and that's the only thing that's going to hurt them. And they've allowed more points, but that's because they allow so many more rushing yards. And look, this is a divisional game, so it's going to be close anyway. But I think Geno Smith he is literally on TV. People are talking about him in the MVP conversation. Like, that's so stupid because it was a joke in week 1. Geno Smith for MVP. Now people are on these experts are on TV talking about it. I think the Cardinals need this win. They need it desperately because I think Cliff Kingsbury's on the hot seat, giving Kyler that contract and with him not proving anything at all. But I'm going to take the Seahawks for this one. I'm going to give them respect because they're scoring a lot of points every game, and they're going toe-to-toe with everybody they match up with.
I like that you're going with the home team. I understand it completely. I'm not a big Kyler Murray fan. You know that I think that he's full of inconsistencies. But with that being said, for all the exact reasons that you picked him, I'm going to pick against him. I think when I go back and I look at Seattle's schedule this year, they snuck a 1-point win against Denver. They got hammered by San Francisco. They lost to Atlanta, who's not a very good roster. They snuck by Detroit in a shootout, couldn't play defense, and then they lose at New Orleans. So I don't see anything on their win-loss record that's impressive, that shows me that they're going to win this game.
Didn't they put up like 48 points on Detroit? Look, I know their defense is bad, but you score 50 points in a game, your offense is good, man.
I mean, no, and then they turn around the next week and they put up 32 in New Orleans. I'm not saying that I just feel that it's a divisional game. It's not going to be that type of game. It's going to be ugly.
No, I
And
think this
Kyler
game's
Murray
gonna
is
be
ugly.
much more ugly than I want to give it credit for.
Taking the Cards.
That's fair. I
it
mean, like
wouldn't.
I said, the Cards can hardly win at home, but they can always win on the road.
Yeah,
And
I take the 2 games on the road that the Cards played this year, which they won both of those games. It's funny, they haven't won at home, but they've won both of their road games. They won in Carolina, and then they won at Las Vegas. They shouldn't have won in Las Vegas, but they did get 29 points on the road that game. I don't know what their problem is at home. That's really a strange
it was like
dynamic.
that last year too. They didn't win any divisional game at home, but they won the ones on the road.
I just got a feeling that they're the better team, that they've got the better roster.
When is the new Call of Duty coming out? October 28th. They got a week left of any kind of good Kyler Murray play. They got a week left. That's it.
All right, let's keep going,
Well,
man.
listen, I'm just gonna take the Seahawks because I knew you were gonna take the Cardinals because that makes sense. But I think this is the time that their defense steps up and puts their foot down and doesn't look like the worst defense in the league.
I'm excited. I'm kind of excited.
I'm literally sweating because we're getting close to it. The Bills come to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, and look, I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs. I will not do it. I don't care. It's just what it is. The same reason you took the Bengals. Like, I'm not going to pick against my Chiefs. I think that this is going to be an insane game because every game with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes on the same football field is an insane game. Look, I'm not a Chiefs fan who hates Josh Allen. I've always respected him, even when nobody believed in him. I was like, that dude's going to be a stud. This is why I'm confident in the Chiefs. I mean, Josh Allen needs to go big for me in fantasy too, but he just needs to not do enough. And listen, the Chiefs are underdogs at home for the first time in, I don't know, forever. Patrick Mahomes' career, pretty much. They are like, okay, the spotlight's not on them here, okay? The spotlight and all the attention is like, okay, we're giving you the points. You got to come into this very hectic stadium and, you've got to prove them wrong because the light's not shining on them. The pressure's not on them, okay? The pressure's all on Buffalo in this game. And so I think that is what's going to give Kansas City the edge they need to find a, look, their secondary is hurting, okay? The Chiefs secondary is hurting. That's going to hurt them. As long as Gabe Davis doesn't score 4 touchdowns in this game, I'll be happy. But I think the guys that are playing, Andy Reid's coached them. They're going to play tough. They got Steve Spagnuolo. A lot of people don't believe in him, but he's coached these guys up right. This defense is the best defense Mahomes has had in his career, despite some injuries. Look, we're missing Rashad Fenton. Okay, look, Rashad Fenton almost gave the Raiders the win last week, giving up the big plays to Devontae Adams. They've got these rookies that made the roster. They proved something. People believed in them, and that's why they're here. Stepping up to make these big games, and I think we're gonna be okay. It's gonna be it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be hard, and I'm gonna be stressed all day long thinking about it, and all game long through the game. But as long as we don't have any crazy dumb referee crap on both sides, this game's gonna be amazing. And I'm gonna pick the Chiefs because they have a lot less pressure on them than the Bills do. And having no pressure at home is just a good feeling, especially at Arrowhead.
Yeah, and just to keep going with parity, I'll just go, and for whatever reason, I'm going to go completely opposite again. I think I'll pick the Bills, although I think the Chiefs should win this game just to see if we can create some separation between us. I'm pretty sure that I picked Buffalo and CBS as well. This is an opportunity not for Kansas City's offense. It's an opportunity for their defense to prove what they're really made of. Right now, they're giving up about 25 points a game, and that does not rank very high in the NFL. Buffalo scores 30. So if they can hold Buffalo under 30 points, I think they have a very good opportunity to win the game, but just to be for parity, I'm going to pick against you in this game.
So I'm looking at these stats. The Chiefs average almost 2 more points a game. The Bills rush 2 more yards a game, and they throw the ball about 20 to 30 more yards in a game. Defensively, obviously Buffalo has got them beat. They are averaging only allowing 12 points a game. Okay, look. They kicked the crap out of Pittsburgh last week, 38-3 or whatever. And I can't even remember who else they played. They played Baltimore, which they should have lost that game. Baltimore just collapsed, and they shut the Bills down in the first half. Bills couldn't do anything. And then they had another couple good wins. They stomped the crap out of the Rams, but we're finding out that that's pretty much not hard to do.
The loss at Miami is the one that is.
The loss at Miami is the big one. It is divisional, so I'm not even going to discredit the Bills there. The Bills are an excellent football team. Look, these are the 2 best teams in the league, not just the AFC, the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah, just to say it, will this game determine home field advantage for the playoffs?
I'm thinking real hard. No, because I think the Chiefs, and no offense, Nathan, will have a better divisional record than the Bills.
So you don't. Even if the Chiefs lose to the Bills, you think they'll still have a better record in the AFC at the end of the season?
Yes, because if they can beat the Chargers, look, I'm not trying to get cocky, but Patrick Mahomes owns the Broncos. Look, he's never lost to them. The Chiefs have won the last 16 matchups or 15 matchups against the Broncos. That's 2 right there. And the Raiders are struggling. They will give us trouble in LA. But the Chargers, I'm pretty confident going into LA, or Vegas for the Raiders, but into LA to take on the Chargers, because Andy Reid is going to outcoach Staley. Look, the only divisional matchup for the rest of the year that I think the Chiefs have a chance to lose is the Raiders matchup in Vegas, because they're going to get better as the season progresses. Now, the Dolphins are slumped, but they will get better. The Patriots are getting better. The Jets are playing magnificent, okay? I think that was a good game for them against Miami, but I think there's going to be more competition in that division than in terms of divisional wins in the West, okay? Like, the Chiefs will take the West with ease. And so I think head-to-head matters, but it also goes based on how many times you won to losing in your division as well. And so I think if the Chiefs lose the Broncos, then I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Like, I throw in the towel. I'm done. So I think this one will be a close determination, but I do not think it will be the final. Like, I think the Bills will lose more games within the division than the Chiefs. And I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to go 6-0, but neither will the Bills. They've already lost one. So
yeah, so let's just roll it into the night game. I've been excited for this one this week as well.
Man, one of the better primetime matchups of the year, because we've obviously had to watch the Broncos every single week this year. The Cowboys are going into Philadelphia. Cooper Rush undefeated as a starter. Philadelphia undefeated on the season. This game is going to be insane. Both of these. And Nathan gave me the history in our community tab on this. Listen, every game is like, it's just up in the air. Look, the Cowboys have more wins historically, but the Cowboys were a lot better team for a lot longer than the Eagles were. This has been a rivalry for years. This game's going to be crazy. I don't really know. Like, I want to say the Eagles will win this game and hand Cooper Rush his first loss as a starter. But I kind of want to see Cowboys keep winning with Cooper Rush. Look, I don't like the Cowboys. They're my bottom 3, but maybe bottom 4 least favorite teams. I don't want to see them win anything. And I don't want to see the Eagles lose. Cowboys Bills Super Bowl. Shall we watch? Yeah, no.
I don't think I would want to watch a Cowboys Bills Super Bowl.
I don't think Buffalo is going to make the Super Bowl, even though they should. Over under at how many players get carted off? I'm going to say 2.5. Eagles and Chiefs. That's the Super Bowl. Book it. I'm telling you.
Is it? I got a question for you, just because I want to add doubt into your brain. Does it matter to you that last season Dallas won by over 20 points both games?
No, because
has no bearing.
These are two way different football teams. Then both this Cowboys team and this Eagles team are both way two different football teams from last year. They got different. I mean, half a player. I know he said the over under, so that's why I said 2.5. So it could either be 2 is the under, 3 is the over. What's up, TJ? My thing is, I'm gonna pick the Eagles in this game, and not because they're undefeated. Nothing to do with historical relevance. But I'm going to say Cooper Rush, or let me go to defense first. The Eagles defense isn't much better, but it is better than the Cowboys defense. And the run defense, that is. And they both run the ball really well. The Eagles are averaging 160 a game, and the Cowboys are only averaging 115. Look, 115 is not enough. But these defenses, like I said, Philly averages 160 rushing yards a game. The defense averages 117.
It's okay, Mickey.
That's all right. We love those types. That's perfectly fine with me. But the Eagles defense only allows 105 a game, and they're only averaging 115. So they're only allowing 105. Dallas's offense averages 10 more than that, but they haven't lost yet. And look, the run game's the most important thing to win anymore. And so, plus the Eagles are averaging like 11 more points a game. This game's gonna be.
Why does it sound like you're trying to convince yourself?
No, I'm saying that all these stats are pointing to Philadelphia. The divisional thing's what throws the curveball in. Dallas, is Dallas, and Dallas against the division has been dominant the last couple years, but this division grew up a lot over the offseason. And so Dallas is not quite ready for that, other than the Giants, who that handed the Giants their only loss this season and embarrassed the heck out of them because their offensive line was hot garbage in that game. I'm going to take Philly. I have not been confident in this pick, even though they are the only undefeated team. Dallas is 4-1. They've only lost one game. And that was their game with Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush is excellent. I want to see Cooper Rush continue this streak just because when Dak comes back and they start losing, I want to see that excuse. But this is Philadelphia's first true test against a absolutely phenomenal defense.
You know what? I think that historically it's really pushing towards a Cowboys victory. However, I think I like the Eagles in this game as well. I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit more better against the Cowboys than some of the other teams have. And I think Jalen Hurts has got something to prove against the Cowboys since they've kicked the snot out of him every time he's been a starter. So I'll go ahead and I'll stick with you on this one and take the Eagles.
Mickey said, have to go with the Kelsey brothers, so Eagles. That's just another reason why for me. He said Cowboys will run on the Eagles, run away crying.
But you know what? A very similar defense to what they had last year, and Dallas scored 92 points last year against the Cowboys or against the Eagles.
I still think – the Eagles drafted well on defense, and it's only made their defense better, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can make an excuse for both teams.
Oh, 100%. Listen, I'm comfortable with either of these teams winning because both teams are deserving of winning this game, honestly.
Okay, so let's hit Monday night because I'm about ready to fall asleep.
Monday night game, we will not be in here for this game, but Broncos Visit the Chargers, Monday Night Football. Chargers are going to win 24-7.
24-7. Is Russell Wilson playing?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. The Broncos are bad.
I know they're bad, but I know that they're. You know what? You're right. There should be no reason to argue. There should be no reason to argue. I just think about.
All right, let's pull up some stats.
I ain't even gonna look at stats. You know what? Justin Herbert's greater than Russell Wilson. Mike Williams is greater than Cortland Sutton. And Austin Eckler is greater than Javonte Williams because Javonte Williams is on IR. I will take the Chargers.
Austin Eckler got going last week in a big way, which is what the Chargers desperately needed. The Chargers are averaging 45 more passing yards per game and only 10 rushing yards less per game. And like I said, Eckler was not going up until last week, so that number for the average is going to go up. This is divisional, so it'll be a dumb game. It's going to be a dumb game. The AFC West divisional games are the dumbest games I've ever watched in my life. So, they're probably going to put up more than 7 points, but the Broncos are bad, and the Chargers are going to win.
Dude, it's horrible pick for a Monday Night Football game. It really is. But, they pick these games because, Russell Wilson's coming to the AFC West. We got to play all these games.
A lot of AFC West divisional games are primetime this year. Most of them, actually.
Anyway, so we had some parity in our picks today, which is really cool. Maybe one of us will, but what it probably will end up doing is we'll probably end up getting closer together.
We're end up gonna get burnt this week. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 of our games we picked the same. And we did not talk about it, but we had 4 bye teams this week. It is the Raiders, the Titans, the Lions, and the Texans. 4 teams that I think really do need a bye week. I'm excited to talk about those 4 teams next week, going into their games playing off the bye, because those are very some teams are excellent off the bye, some teams are bad off the bye. And so that I'm going to be really excited to look into those 4 teams come next week, especially the Lions, because there's a lot of good to come out of this bye week. Will LaFleur be pounding the rock against the Jets? He better be. I mean, like that, their run game is good. Their run game is great, but he tends to get away from it at the wrong times. So to get the Packers back on track, they have to. They have to pound the rock.
They have to establish the run in order for the passing game to be super effective, because Sauce Gardner's a stud. Don't let anybody fool you out there. And Green Bay's receivers have not been top-notch.
I think they're capable, but I think the coaching's been poor for Green Bay. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect LaFleur, because I think he's a good coach, but his coaching has been very below marginal this season. I just found this channel. I'm in love. You guys are great to hang with. We'll be looking forward to your future content. Hey, Mickey, I just saw the KC logo in your profile picture, and I was just so stoked for you to be in here, man.
Hey, and let me furthermore with that, and anybody that comes in the chat and provides input and has a sarcastic attitude, you're more than welcome, and you fit right in with this group. Wait till you see some of the others that come in here. We're all like two peas in a pod.
I was studying history last night for you. I do want to hear your notes on the Minnesota Dolphins game before we go, though. Okay, well, you can go ahead and tell me. I do want to hear your notes on that, because I had a tough time with this one. But yeah, Mickey, like I said, I'm happy that you're in here, man. We are going to live stream a lot of games this year. Oh, well, we already have, but we're going to continue live streaming. Been a fan since 1970. Yes, I'm old. I've been a fan since about 2013. Should I take Kyler Murray for fantasy? I don't know. What are your options, TJ? But I'm happy you're in here. Me and Dad, which I don't know where he's at right now, but We love it in here. We love to talk to you guys about what you think because your opinion matters to us just as much as I hope our opinion matters to you. Grassi says LaFleur and Rodgers are calling plays for an offense that no longer exists. I believe Grassi. I'm going to take his word for it. Anything Packer related. Like, he is the first guy we'll go to about Packers content. But, I feel like Rodgers is trying to prove a point that he deserves to be involved. Brees Hall's a stud. Kenneth Walker for Seattle. He would be an excellent pickup right now. I see your hot tamales.
Showing Tim.
Tim sees your hot tamales too. But with what's his name getting injured for Seattle, Kenneth Walker is going to be taking a full workload, and he's great. I believe that too, TJ. If Miami was healthy, I think Minnesota was going to struggle because Minnesota hasn't won in Miami since 1976. Oh, that's crazy. So that was the game that Dad used his coin flip on. I took Miami on this, and he took the Vikings with the coin flip. He said, "WTF are they?"
It's cinnamon candy.
It's
TJ,
like a cinnamon, like
yeah.
hard, soft candy. It's hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Little cinnamon things. Dolphins by a touchdown. Like, I'm right there with you, man. I mean, I'm 50-50 on it. I think whoever wins, it's going to be by a touchdown. Should I take the Vikings -4? I'm on with the Dolphins right now, but that game's really a toss-up. Kenneth Walker is going to excel heavily, Trevor. Like, I think now that he is 100% RB1, he's going to keep pounding it. They're going to keep going to him. They're going to keep trying to see what he's capable of doing. He was the #1 running back in the draft for a reason. It's gonna be fun watching him grow. I picked him up off the waiver wire this week, and I was pretty excited for that. Thompson didn't look bad versus Jets until the Jets explode in the fourth. He said, "You Americans eat anything." I'm not a huge hot tamale fan. I did also. He said, "Did you hear the Tyreek Hill ping pong table story?" I know for a fact that Dad did not hear this because he was on vacation all week. But this is hilarious. There was a ping pong table in the Dolphins locker room or their, space, their player space, and Tyreek Hill removed it. And there was multiple stories on why he removed it, but they said he removed it to clear his head and keep their focus straight, game time. And then, but the post was, and then Tyreek Hill went home and streamed Fortnite for 4 hours after that. And I was like, okay, that's really funny. But then it comes out that the only reason they removed the ping pong table was so they could get a new one, a better one. And I was like, okay, either way, that sucks. Like, that story sucks, man. But I can't believe Tyreek Hill turned around after saying that and went and streamed on Twitch for 4 hours playing Fortnite. Like, that's just funny to me. My Niners Falcons notes were they have a long history. I didn't get the chance to look at them. He said, "I still saw you got that." Dude, as soon as I saw him at the top of the waiver wire, I was like, I have an empty space. Like, I'm clicking that right now as fast as I can, man. I don't know who let him go, but they made a mistake. They let him go at the literal worst time. The best time of his career is starting now. Man, I'm very excited about this game. I don't remember exactly when or what game I'm getting tomorrow, but this is the first Sunday of the NFL season that I am not working. I did put in a vacation day because the Bills were playing against the Chiefs. And before the season started, I thought I might go to Kansas City for this game, but I did not end up doing so. So tomorrow, for everybody that will be in here, I will be streaming one of the 1 o'clock games. I'm thinking it's going to be the Baltimore Giants game, which I'm kind of excited if it is. But we will see, when we get there, what game is available to me. And I'll have 2 to choose from, and I'll make that decision in the morning. But
New York teams.
But I made a grown-up decision, and I'm going to let Papa Blood stream the Bills and Chiefs game because I am mentally not stable thinking about it. And so I'm going to let him do it. and I am going to be in the chat, and I'm going to be watching it, and I might pop in at halftime, either crying or fired up or both. I'm going to be there with you guys, so please, please, please come in here at 4:00. Chiefs fans, Bills fans, and Chiefs and Bills haters, all of you alike, come in here in the chat and help him out through this game because I'm very excited for it, and I wanted to do it more than anything. But the last time that I streamed a Bills and Chiefs game on here, you guys saw me not breathing because that was the 13-second drive playoff game, and I can't do that to myself twice. But I will be in here for Sunday Night Football, and we can talk about that in the pregame. I'll load up, a couple minutes early so we can talk about the ending of that game unless it's in overtime for whatever reason. But we'll be in here all day long from 1 p.m. or whatever the first NFL game is in your time zone, all the way until like 11:30 or whatever time that the Philly-Dallas game ends. So it's going to be a big day for us tomorrow. So everybody that has time or wants to do so will be in here hosting watch parties with our play-by-play and reaction. But I do really want, if any of the games you come to, please come to the game at 4:00 and support Papa Blood, because he's taking on a tall task that I really didn't want to give up to him. But like I said, I'm making a grown-up decision, and my mental health is not going to be well during that game, so I do not want to embarrass myself.
It's going to be an awesome game. And hey, Faye KC, Bison Burger at Arrowhead. Yummy.
I had my first bison burger ever in March or May, one of the 2 months. I get them confused every time. And bison burgers are like legitimate, man. Like, they are good. Also, how about them Chiefs?
The 4:00 game tomorrow is going to be outstanding. I cannot wait.
But I missed a couple notes. Don't forget Mike Modano praised him, and then Hill went and said, yeah, because we got a new one on the way. Yeah, I did see that. That whole story is hilarious to me. Niners and Falcons were divisional rivals for a year. I didn't realize that, but that's interesting. Also, Nathan, you can be the It's in the Blood historian if you like. I appreciate it. Also, another update. I spent the last week while Papa Blood was on vacation doing some research. I haven't got it all together yet, but I started adding the right pieces to get closer to do so. I will have a Discord channel up for this channel for all of you guys that want to talk to us or, want to talk to each other when we are not on here. I don't have enough knowledge yet to just throw it out there, which I had initially done when we first started the channel. But I'm making it bigger and better and more accessible to all of you guys. So that is coming soon. Also, Trevor, shout out to you for getting your PS5, joining the PS5 gang. Shelby will have her soon. I'm sure she already told you that in the chat. We're very fired up for that. I'm about to spend $70 and buy the new Madden because I promised you guys that I would do so and start doing that. So I just haven't. It's hard spending $70 on a game when you used to spend $40 on a brand new game. But I'm getting to that as well. Bills will win 100%. I wouldn't say 100%, but I say they have a good chance. I feel strongly that it's a 50-50 game. I'm not giving either team the edge because, like I said, the Chiefs have no pressure going into this game. It's just another work day at home. And the Bills, all eyes are on them. The pressure's on them. This is who's going to beat the refs for one, because the refs have proved unloyal to anybody this year except for TB12, which we know. But they have been scary, and you cannot trust. It's the same team that was officiating the Falcons and Tampa Bay game last week. So that might make this game a crap show. But these two teams are phenomenal, and I cannot wait. But I will come by to like the stream, but I have to watch the game. Sorry. That's totally fine as long as, just pop in, say hello to them. It's okay if you don't want to say it. I just want everyone to be there for at least a minute to show him some love. He's taking on a tall task. That's going to be a fun one to call, man. But I can't do it, so I'll be in here watching. I'll be in the chat, giving my commentary. Nothing but love from the refs this week. Just ask Chris Jones. Absolutely. Absolutely love that guy too. But It is 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 hours before our first stream tomorrow kicks off. I do need to get some rest and things like that to get prepared for it. I want to thank all you guys for coming in here super late. We do not run late streams, but Papa Blood came in from vacation, and I was like, we're going to run it and see how it goes. And I'm sure he's tired. He drove all the way. I cannot wait for Taylor Heineke, Crafty. I'll let you say your last words before we go into tomorrow.
I think tomorrow's going to be outstanding. I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed fans tomorrow. I think there's going to be a few upsets in the mix, and we'll be here all day for all of it. So,
Mickey, I don't know how much it's going to be sleep, but I'm resting at the least. I'm so anxious. I've been anxious all week, man.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I just want to say, once again, thank you everybody that stopped in here and chatted with us tonight. Also, other than Nathan, because his team is on the bye, but I think everybody else's team plays tomorrow or Monday. So I just want to say good luck to all of you guys in rooting for your football team to win. I hope everyone has at least, if not a win from your team, a good fantasy week. But I'm excited. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And have a good rest of your night.
Leia.
Go Chiefs!